Hey everyone, and welcome back for another deep dive. Today we are going to be talking about aviation vocabulary.
Yeah, lots of fun terms, that's for sure.
Definitely. So if you're interested in flying, or maybe you're just curious about the language pilots and air traffic controllers use,
Exact.
this episode is for you.
Absolutely.
We're going to be looking at terms related to weather, airport parts, even like the anatomy of an aircraft. So by the end of this deep dive, you'll be able to talk the talk.
You know, I think that's a great goal, but I also think it's important to not just be able to use the terms, but to actually understand them.
Yeah, that's true.
Because, you know, in aviation, clear communication is super important.
For sure.
It's not just about sounding cool, it's really about safety and efficiency.
Absolutely. So, okay, let's jump right in. Let's imagine a scenario that everyone's probably heard in movies, someone yelling Mayday over the radio.
Right.
But what does that really mean? Yeah. Like, what does that actually mean? And when would a pilot use pan-pan instead?
Oh, that's a really good question.
Yeah.
So Mayday is used to signal grave and imminent danger.
Okay.
Like if there was an engine fire or a complete loss of control, it's a call for immediate assistance, basically.
Right.
It lets everyone know, hey, there's a life-threatening situation happening here.
So it's basically the ultimate SOS in the sky.
Exactly.
So then what about pan-pan?
So pan-pan is also urgent.
Yeah.
But not necessarily life-threatening.
Okay.
So, for example, imagine a cracked windshield or maybe a problem with the navigation system. You need attention, but it's not like
an immediate
threat to life.
Right.
So that's when you'd use pan-pan.
Okay, so it's all about the level of danger and how immediate that danger is.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, well, one of our sources, the one called pan-pan or Mayday, gives some interesting scenarios to test our understanding of this. So are you ready to play pan-pan or Mayday?
Oh, let's do it.
All right.
I'm ready.
So you're cruising along, everything's going great, and then suddenly you lose communication with air traffic control.
Okay.
Pan, or Mayday.
That is a good one.
Yeah.
So it depends, right?
Okay.
Like if you are flying over a remote area or maybe in really bad weather, losing communication could become a serious safety issue really quickly.
Right.
So in that case, Mayday might be warranted.
I see.
But if you're, in a familiar area, clear skies, good visibility, it might be more appropriate to start with pan-pan while you try to reestablish contact.
Okay. That makes sense. It really depends on the context.
Exactly. Yeah, the context is everything.
Okay, here's another one. You're on approach for landing. You're almost there. You're getting ready to touch down. And then you get a warning light indicating low hydraulic pressure.
Oh.
Pan or Mayday.
That's a tricky one.
Yeah.
Hydraulics are crucial for controlling the aircraft, right? So low pressure could lead to a serious situation. I think I'd probably say pan initially.
Okay.
Just to let, alert air traffic control and maybe request a priority landing. But if the pressure continues to drop and I'm starting to lose control, I wouldn't hesitate to upgrade that to a Mayday.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
It's more nuanced than I initially thought.
It is, yeah.
You really have to think like a pilot.
Yeah.
Okay, weigh the situation.
Yeah.
Choose the right words. It's important.
Absolutely. And this is why those seemingly simple terms are so important. They're not just words. They're really lifelines.
Exactly.
Up in the sky.
Yeah.
Okay, let's move on to another element that can make or break a flight.
Okay.
Weather. We have a couple of sources here, weather and weather conditions, and there is a whole glossary of terms here. What are some that stand out to you?
So many good ones, but CB clouds always kind of catch my eye.
CB clouds.
Yeah, it's just shorthand for cumulonimbus clouds. Okay. Which are also known as thunder clouds. Those are a pilot's nightmare.
Why is that? I mean, they look dramatic, sure.
Yeah.
But aren't they just big rain clouds?
Oh, they are so more than just rain clouds.
Right.
I mean, we're talking... Think about powerful updrafts and downdrafts, severe turbulence.
Oh, wow.
Lightning, hail.
Yeah.
Imagine being tossed around inside one of those.
No, thank you.
It's not a fun time.
I think I'd much rather stay on the ground.
Probably a good choice.
Yeah. And it's not just storms, right?
No, not at all.
We have another source, picture description, which has this crazy image of an airplane covered in volcanic ash.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah, even seemingly calm weather can throw some curveballs your way. Volcanic ash can clog engines.
Oh, wow.
Reduce visibility, even damage the aircraft's exterior. So it's a good reminder that pilots need to be aware of their surroundings, even when it's not, actively storming.
Absolutely. So weather isn't just about rain or shine.
It's about a whole range of atmospheric conditions that can impact a flight.
Exactly.
Okay, well, let's touch down on the ground for a minute.
Okay.
And explore the language of airports. Are you ready for a layover in airport lingo?
Let's do it.
All right, let's deplane and take a look. We've got a couple of sources here. Parts of an airport and machines at airports. And there's a surprising amount of specialized vocabulary just for navigating the ground.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
I always thought, for example, that a ramp was something you use to load cargo.
Yeah, that's a common misconception.
Okay.
But in airport lingo, the ramp is where aircraft are parked.
Oh, okay.
Loaded, unloaded.
I see.
It's kind of like the aircraft's parking lot.
Got it.
But a lot more activity.
Right, a lot more going on.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, so the plane parks on the ramp. What about those follow me vehicles? I always see those driving around.
Yes.
Are they just for show?
Definitely not for sure.
Okay.
They play a vital role in guiding aircraft to their designated parking spots, especially at busy airports where there's lots of traffic.
Right.
It's like having a personal escort service for planes.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Very important.
I never realized there was so much going on behind the scenes at an airport.
Oh, there's a whole world happening there.
Wow.
Yeah.
So we've got the ramp where planes park, the follow-me vehicles guiding them. What about those things that push the planes back from the gate?
Ah, those are called pushback tugs. They're super important because aircraft can't reverse on their own.
Right.
So they connect to the nose wheel and gently push the plane back.
Okay.
Give it enough clearance to taxi away from the gate.
Like a specialized tow truck for planes.
Yes, exactly.
But way gentler.
Or much gentler, yeah.
Okay, so we've got the ramp, the follow-me vehicles, the pushback tugs. What about getting from the ramp to the runway?
Ah, that's where taxiways come in.
Okay.
They're like the road system for aircraft. They
Right.
connect the ramp to the runways.
Right.
Pilots carefully follow taxiway markings and instructions from air traffic control to navigate this complex network.
Wow. It's amazing how much coordination and communication goes into every single flight,
It really is.
even before it leaves the ground.
Yeah, even before it leaves the ground. And it highlights how important it is to understand these terms.
Yes.
Not just for pilots and controllers, but for anyone involved in aviation.
Yeah.
From baggage handlers to ground crew, everyone needs to be on the same page.
Absolutely. Well, speaking of the aircraft itself,
Okay.
let's shift our focus from the ground to the sky
Right.
and explore the anatomy of these incredible flying machines. Are you ready to get technical?
Let's get technical.
All right. So, I know the basics, wings, tail,
Right.
but looking at these sources, parts of an aircraft and vocabulary, parts of an aircraft, I'm realizing there's a lot I don't know.
Yeah, there's a lot to learn.
Like, what is an aileron, for example?
Oh, good question. Ailerons are control surfaces
Okay.
located on the outer edges of the wings. They work in opposition.
Okay.
So when one goes up, the other goes down.
It's-
And they control the aircraft's roll, which is also known as banking.
okay, so if a pilot wants to bank left,
Yes.
they would adjust the ailerons to make the left wing go down and the right wing go up.
Precisely.
Okay.
It's kind of like tilting a seesaw
Yeah, that's a good analogy.
to control which side goes up or down.
I like that.
Yeah.
Okay, what about those little upturned tips at the end of the wings? I've always wondered what those are for.
Oh, those are called winglets. They're all about efficiency.
Okay.
So they help reduce drag,
Uh-huh.
which means the aircraft uses less fuel and can fly further.
So it's like adding a spoiler to a race car, but instead of making it go faster, it helps it conserve energy.
That's a great way to put it. Yeah, it's a brilliant example of how engineers are constantly finding ways to improve aircraft performance.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
And speaking of performance, understanding how these different parts function is crucial.
Oh, yeah.
Not just for pilots, but also for the maintenance crews who keep these complex machines in top-notch condition.
Absolutely. Yeah. Safety is paramount.
Absolutely. But we'll delve into that aspect later. For now, let's take a closer look at how all this vocabulary comes together in real-world communication.
All right.
Are you ready to listen in on some pilot-controller chatter?
Let's do it. I'm ready to decode some lingo.
Okay, let's cue up the audio and put our listening skills to the test.
Sounds good to me.
Okay, we got our headsets on. We're tuned into those ICAOPREP listening sources. And, you know, it's one thing to learn the vocabulary,
Yeah?
but hearing it used in real-world situations
Right.
is a whole other level.
It is.
What's your initial impression listening to these?
You know, the first thing that jumps out at me is the calmness.
Yeah.
And the clarity, even in like emergency situations,
Right.
pilots and controllers, they use very precise language and
Yeah.
standard phraseology to
Right.
make sure that everyone understands the situation.